Hey guys, it's Aaliyah with Open Doors, Open Hearts Vlog, and today I thought it would be really fun to talk about some thrift store decorating ideas with you guys. So I have been decorating my home with thrift store decor for about 4 years, and in those 4 years I have learned a lot of different things. And so I thought it would be fun to share some of my mistakes with you and kind of share how in those 4 years I've transitioned from purchasing things that I had no business purchasing because I never used them after I brought them home, or leaving things at the thrift store that I wish that I would have brought home, and then by the time I get back there, they're gone. So I thought it'd be fun. I have 7 tips for you for adding character and charm to your home with thrift store decorating. And I also thought that it would be really fun to do it with a thrift haul. But before I jump into that, I wanted to let you know that I am doing a collaboration today with Sarah from Our Prairie Cottage. If you have never been to her YouTube channel, she does thrift hauls all the time and she is so good at them. And she has cottage style. I absolutely love her YouTube channel and I know you will too. So head down to the description box below and go ahead and head over to her channel and tell her hello and that I sent you. Okay, so now let's get into this thrift haul. So the number one thing that you always need to keep in mind, and I feel like I always lost sight of this in the beginning when I was thrifting, is to think about if the item is your style. If it fits something, if it would fit in your home naturally, regardless of price or any of those things, do you like the item? So I have this cute little frog that I recently bought at one of the little vintage shops that we have downtown. You can see it has the little pokies for the flower stems to hold them. I've been wanting a frog for a long time, but just never wanted to go buy a new one. You can buy some frogs that are just this inside piece and then you can put it in any vase. But this one I thought was super cute and it was blue. Blue is probably the most decorated with color in my home. So I felt like it was also pretty shape. It's simple and yet still is kind of unique. So I really liked it. The one thing I didn't like about it was $6. And if I had been shopping alone, I would not have bought it. But my husband was with me and he saw me pick it up and he saw me look at it. He knows that I've been wanting a frog. And so he told me that I should buy it. So it was $6, a little bit more than I would have spent, but it fits my style and I can't wait to use it. So tip number 1 is to make sure that the pieces fit your style. The second tip that I have is to be patient. In May, I shared a garage sale haul with you guys and I talked about some false graft mugs, and they were $3 a piece at this garage sale. And that was too much for me for a mug. I did not want to spend that much money. So I just waited on it. And I found these at a thrift store. There's 4 of them. They are, it's hard to tell. The bottom is so worn out, but I looked them up. They look like the Heritage Collection false graft mugs. So a little bit of patience and waiting, and I was able to get 4 mugs for less than what I would have spent on 1 mug if I had bought them back in May. So tip number 2 is to be patient. And I think these mugs are just a small example, but if you're patient with decorating your entire home with thrifted decor, then 1, you'll end up saving a whole lot more money, and then 2, you'll be able to create a really cozy, charming, and a home full of character that is really hard to create if you just run out and buy everything all at once. So tip number 3, kind of piggybacking on that, is to look for unique items. If you want to have a unique and charming home, sometimes you need to just intentionally look for some unique items. And this candlestick holder, I actually have 2 of them. I found at a rummage sale. And at first I thought it was maybe a little too unique for me, but I walked away from it and saw the rest of the items in the rummage sale. But when it was time to leave, I felt like I just couldn't leave these candlesticks. I wanted to go back and look at them one more time. And when I did, I decided, I actually called my daughter over. I was like, hey, come look at these. Do you like them? So between her and I, we did decide to bring them home, and I'm really, really glad that I did. They're not so unique. Like, I've never seen something that looks this way, but at the same time, you don't see this kind of candlestick every time you go to somebody's house, or even like at like a Target or a Hobby Lobby or something like that. So I really like it. It still fits my style and like how simplistic it is, but it is just a little more unique than some of the other candlesticks that I have in our house. Tip number 4 is to not be afraid to think outside the box. This is another candlestick holder. I saw it at a garage sale, and it's for like one of those big chunky candles. And I don't generally decorate with big chunky candles. I have at like Christmas time before, like I'll do a cluster of them, but generally to just put one chunky candle out, I just don't usually do that. Not that I couldn't, just that I don't. But I have been wanting a cute little bowl or tray to place matches after I'm done lighting a candle. And I thought that this would be a really cute way to do that. It's a color that I want, it's super simple, and it was only 50 cents. So don't be afraid if you see an item at a thrift store and you know like, oh, it was originally made for this purpose. If it can fulfill another purpose for you and you like it, it fits your style, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Okay, so tip number 5, if you have been following along with me very long, you know that I like my decor to very often serve a purpose and be practical. So if you were able to watch my 2023 goals video, I'll go ahead and put a link for that up here if you missed it. But one of our goals for 2023 was to be able to grow as much food as possible for our family in our little home garden so that we could spend less money at the grocery store. One of the things that we love to eat here at this house is potatoes. So whether they're good for you or not good for you, but we love them. So we do diced tomatoes, we do potato wedges, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes. We are potato people. So we bought this crock, and this is not going to house all of the potatoes. Most of the potatoes will live downstairs in the basement where it's a little bit more cool. But for the potatoes that like we bring up each week to use, so I'm not always going up and down the stairs, we thought that this would be a cute way to store them. And it was super cheap. So this is a 3, and a lot of what we were seeing was it was like $10 per like the size. So like a 1 was $10, a 2 was $20, the 3 was $30. And I think we got this one for less than $25. So we decided, because it was such a good price and I like to decorate my home with them, but I also like that they serve a function and a purpose. I have some that I use to hold my utensils on the counter. I have bowls that I use for sourdough. I just really like crocks in like the style and the aesthetic, and then I also like the purpose. So when you are decorating your home with thrift store decor, that's something that I always like to keep in the forefront. Like, is this a practical item that I could turn into home decor? And if the answer is yes, then like it definitely gets put in the cart. some thrift store decor items, I feel like you can bring it home and it's just perfect, just the way it is. Like this candlestick and the mug, the frog, all the things. I mean, they just need wiped down and cleaned up, but otherwise they're like good to go. But sometimes you'll go to the thrift store or a garage sale and you'll find an item like this, and it's just an empty picture frame, but it was 50 cents. So it's like a great deal, but you're gonna have to put in a little work. Like I'm gonna have to get a print, put it in there, cut some cardboard and staple or nail around the edges in order for it to look like a framed portrait or picture, you know. And the same thing with this one. In this picture, I really liked the picture frame. I found this at a thrift store recently. I really liked the detail on it, but I don't like the picture looks like it was displayed like across from a window, and so the sun just shined right on it and kind of turned it this like bluey color. And so I haven't done it yet, but I want to take it out of this frame and put a new picture in there that's fresh and is full of color, and it hasn't been bleached by the sun. So that's another tip for when you are thrift shopping and wanting to decorate your home with thrift store decor, is to not be afraid of a little bit of work. Okay, so the next tip for how to decorate with thrift store decor is too big for me to bring over. So I'm going to take you over to the dining room and show you the next one. Okay, so tip number 7 is to not be afraid of large statement pieces. So we recently bought this hutch. I've been wanting a hutch here for a long time. And so we finally found this one. We measured it. I think I went back to that store like 6 times in the course of like 2 months after I found it. And just I literally kept measuring it, and I taped the wall to see what it was gonna look like how big it was. I knew that I wanted a hutch. I knew I wanted it here, but all the hutches that I was finding were just way too big. One of them I found was way too little. And so when I found this one, I really, really liked it. And after 2 months of sitting on it, I finally decided to get it. And after we put it in here, I mean, it's so new that I don't even have it all decorated yet. But I feel like it adds so much character and charm to this space that we didn't have over here before. And so that's another thing. Obviously, you're not always ready to buy huge pieces, but when you are in a situation where you do need a new large piece of furniture, always check your thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, just to see if you can find that one perfect piece that's going to add a whole lot of charm and character to your space. So now I thought it would be fun to show you a little bit of me decorating the new hutch and using some of these new items as home decor at our house. Thank you so much for watching. Now don't forget to head over to Sarah's channel with Our Prairie Cottage. Like I said, I'll have the link in the description below. She's sharing a thrift haul and she's always so fun to watch. So make sure you head over there and tell her I said hi. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.